Welcome into the Los Angeles Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to take a look around the corner at the offseason. I know the Lakers are fighting for a playoff or play-in seed, and we're going to continue to update you guys on that. But since this roster is playing so well together, we wanted to look at how the Lakers could keep these guys that they added at the NBA trade deadline going into the summer. ESPN's Dave McMenamin, shout out to him, you know why, wrote an article about how the Lakers could keep these guys. We're going to break it down, and we'll share our thoughts on these new additions. You got to remember who they added at the trade deadline, which has really been a huge change for the Lakers. They're one of the best teams in the NBA record-wise since the NBA trade deadline, and it's a credit to guys like D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura. Wish Bamba wouldn't have got hurt. That would have been a huge piece, in my opinion, for the Lakers. I wish Beasley was playing a little bit better and making more shots for them, because I always thought that he'd be a great addition just because of the catch and shoot and microwave ability he has from beyond the three-point arc. I hope he still gets some minutes going into the playoffs. I think he'd actually play better and is more suited to play alongside LeBron James, which is something I'll have my eyes on going forward. But when you look at this roster, Russell's played great. Schroeder's been good. I thought Hachimura has played well, and Vanderbilt has brought a defensive identity to this team that they really didn't have prior to the NBA trade deadline. So I want to ask you guys this question before we go any further into the video. How do we feel about the current roster for the Los Angeles Lakers? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Does it need work? Let me know. Grade it for me. Get out your red pen. A, B, C, D, or F. The most important guy that Rob Pelinka and the Buss family are going to have to make a decision on is D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers have to keep him, in my opinion. Just what he's been able to do in the 15 games he's been here has been so vital to the success this team has experienced with and without LeBron James. And I think Russell is a guy that can carry some of that scoring burden when LeBron has those maintenance days where he misses a couple games in a row. I mean, 17 points, 6 assists, great efficiency, 47 from the deck, almost 40% from beyond the three-point arc. I mean, he is a completely different player from when he was in Los Angeles last. This is the player we thought he was going to be when he first got to L.A., kind of that combo scoring guard that could get downhill, light it up from the three-point line, and get hot and carry an offense. So we're starting to see that now. But you're also starting to see just more of a point guard nature in this guy's game. His ability to control the game, control the pace, get others involved, find them in their spots, and just be a true point guard. I mean, he's an adult now. He's not a kid anymore. He's not snitching on Swaggy P anymore. He's just getting buckets. He's dishing and swishing. He's been good for them. Yeah, that was a great trade by Rob Pelinka. One, he didn't have to give up too much, assets for, and you're able to, maybe maintain a guy that I think honestly fits really well to LeBron and Anthony Davis. He can get his own bucket. He can create for them. He can space the floor. I think it's been a great marriage so far, and I'd like to keep it going. So what do you think? How do you think he's been this year? And if you had to go on to 2K and pull out your Ronnie 2K, how would you rate D'Angelo Russell on 2K, 1 to 100? 1 being he's terrible, 100 he's the best player in the association. Grade it for me, rate D'Angelo Russell as a player. Jared Vanderbilt has really been the story of the season for LA. The defensive ability, versatility, and strategy that he's been able to bring to this team is why they are going to be a team that's no one wants to play in the NBA playoffs. His potential is incredible, and he could be a two-way player at the elite level in this league for a very, very long time. This is what Lucky Dave had to say about Vanderbilt. He said, while his statistical output as a Laker is nothing to dismiss, Vanderbilt is the definition of a player whose impact can't be quantified by scanning a box score. The rangy 6'9" forward has taken to his role as LA's defensive stopper, volunteering to smother the opposing's most potent offensive threat. With Vanderbilt just 24 years old and a cap-friendly deal for next season, it can't be overstated how important his performance in Dallas just after the All-Star break on February 26, locking down Mavericks star Luka Doncic while helping the Lakers climb out of the 27-point hole, was in jump-starting the upswing the Lakers have been on. And it's really ever been since that game that really Vanderbilt stamped himself in the NBA and put everybody on notice. Did he shut down Luka? No. But did he give him fits? He absolutely did. And it's a reason that the Lakers have been able to string together these wins at a rate that a lot of people really didn't expect. I mean, when Vanderbilt is on the floor, he makes everyone's life so much easier. And when you got Anthony Davis behind you, you could play a little bit more risky on the perimeter. Like Lucky Dave said, those stats don't quantify how well and how much of a difference maker he's been. Just 7.7 rebounds. You could be like, you know what? This guy doesn't know ball. What I do know is he's been their best defender. He's been the heartbeat of this team, and they're playing with a different swag and energy on that side of the court since he got here. And he will be in line for a big extension on September 7th of this calendar year. How big, I don't know, but would I be surprised if they gave him 4 years, $60 million, 4 years, $70 million? I wouldn't be shocked at all, and I think there's a lot of teams in the NBA that would offer him that type of change. When you can guard every single position on the court, you get out and run in the fast break, and shown an ability to at least knock down some threes, there's a spot for you on anybody's ball club. Do you think the Lakers should extend Vanderbilt? What do you think? I think absolutely. I think it's a no-brainer. You got to bring this guy back. I'd like to see it happen. Type E for extend, type N for no. Sound off for me. And I do know this. If we get news on an extension for D'Angelo Russell or Vanderbilt, we're going to be breaking it down here on this channel, youtube.com/LakersTV. We're getting closer and closer, ladies and gentlemen, to 50,000 subs here on the channel. Help us get there. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that sub button for more videos on the Los Angeles Lakers. Malik Beasley has somewhat been disappointing, I would say, since he got to the Lakers, but I still think he has some upside and could still restore that value. And the Lakers will have a decision to make on him this offseason as he is eligible to enter NBA free agency. Hasn't lived up to the hype. I know the shooting percentage is down, but really he doesn't shoot shots outside of layups and three-pointers. Still shooting 35% from downtown, but you'd like to see that number closer to 40, 36.5%, 37% is right about league average. He's getting up a whole bunch, 7 attempts from downtown, and you'd like to see him connect on a couple of those. I would like to see him get more minutes with LeBron James because really he compiled all these stats when LeBron was still nursing that injury that he was after the All-Star break. The Lakers have a team option for $16.5 million, and I think the Lakers are going to pick this up. Maybe Beasley may not be worth $16.5 million, but it gives yourself some security. It doesn't let him leave an NBA free agency, and also I think it gives you a trade chip. You could trade a guy with an expiring $16 million contract, which is easy to facilitate money in this new CBA as was in the old CBA, and if he plays and shoots 38% from downtown, he's worth the money. So I think it's a no-brainer to pick up the team option for Beasley. We'll see what Robbie P is going to do. Rui Hachimura, I think, has been an underrated acquisition for the Lakers. Every time I watch him, I'm like, when did this guy get this mid-range bag to where he could just pull up from 17 to 18 off the dribble and knock down middies? He's a good player. I think he's got potential, and I think he's only going to continue to get better in this league. And there's no harm in giving him the qualifying offer. I mean, look, you're probably not going to even get him for cheaper if you were to extend him for 2 years, $8 million. There's no harm in doing it. I think they should. You gave up enough second-round picks to justify it in itself, and we know this wasn't a one-year deal for Rui. He's still young. He's still got potential, and he's still got a ceiling, a level of play that I honestly don't think that the Lakers have been able to tap into, or really Rui hasn't been able to tap into. I want to see him reach his ceiling here in LA. Mo Bamba has a $10 million contract that becomes guaranteed coming up here this summer as well. June 29th is when that happens, right before NBA free agency happens. So Lakers are going to have to make a decision on that. Really wish he would have stayed healthy. I thought the stretch 5 of his ability off the bench really could have been a difference maker for this team. Could you imagine a lineup with LeBron James, Mo Bamba, Anthony Davis, Vanderbilt, and D'Angelo Russell? That's a lot of size, length, and really shot-making ability. Unfortunately, he's dealing with that injury that I think may sideline him for the remainder of the season. Devon Reed, at this point, I don't care if he's here. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's the end of the bench guy. He's someone that's on this team for good reasons. He's earned this spot. He's an NBA player, but Lakers aren't going to lose sleep over Devon Reed leaving an NBA free agency. We talked about 6 players on today's show. If you could only pick one of those to keep long-term for the Lakers, who would it be? Russell, Vanderbilt, Beasley, Reed. I'd have to go with Russell. Or Vanderbilt. Look, either one I think you can make a viable case for. I'll let you guys decide it in the comment section.